button. Is it live? Is it live? It should be live. I've always hated how the audio for the 3DS capture was. It's just like this this in and of itself plays audio, and I don't know if I can mute it and still have it be picked up on the video. But yeah, Pokemon Y Live is back. It's been around a month-ish since the last one. That last one came. Actually, let me start. That last one came directly after I got to look at the stuff from the Pokemon Direct, or not Direct, the Pokemon Presents on the 22nd of, actually, so it has been a month, exactly a month, the 22nd of July. And since then we've gotten some news, we've gotten some demos. Why is it so loud? That's not gonna work. So since then, we've gotten some news. People have gotten to play demos of it during Worlds and now currently at Gamescom. I think they said that same one would be at PAX West in an upcoming weekend, like next weekend. So there's been a lot. I haven't talked about the demo or even the recent news. I didn't want to make a video on it because it was basically nothing. It's not nothing, but it was substantial enough for me because it would basically just be me reading out the site and everything, which is partially what I'm doing already, but let me take this out for a second. That's partially what I'm doing already, but I do add my own stuff to it. I don't think there's really much I can add other than I like the way it looks. It looks cool. Well, not cool, but silly. But it's silly in a cool way, I guess I would say. But yeah, so I'll probably talk about that stuff here, and I might just actually, let me check real quick. I need to see something before I say this. Okay, yeah, we're good. Nothing for desktop audio. 3DS is 2 and 3, and I believe I record at 5 or 6 channels. So yeah, recorded 5. So I should be good. Okay. So yeah, I'll probably be talking about this stuff here, the stuff that I couldn't really make a video on, or I didn't think I needed to make a video on, whether it be that other people had it covered already, or I just didn't feel like I had anything to say about it. I'll probably talk about them here because when I think about stuff in this kind of situation where I just turn my brain off and play, I usually find something to ramble on about, especially since I'm alone on these. So yeah, so I guess where was the entrance to our secret HQ again? Was it in the boulder? Then you got these bitches blocking the exit. What, exposed the sites of the gravestones? What the hell? Well, they haven't blocked this. Okay. But yeah, so last time Team Flare was doing some fuck shit, and they got the ultimate weapon out of the ground in Geosenge Town. And now we have to go and stop them from blicking every life form on the planet that isn't them. That's it. We're finishing this Team Flare stuff we're finishing this Team Flare stuff. Most likely this stream. The way it's probably gonna go is this stream, our August stream, will be this. Our September stream will be us entering the league, and our October stream will likely, like the one that is either going to be a week or like a day or two before Z-A comes out, will likely be the Looker side quest. So that's how that's going to work. So yeah, I think that is it for what we have going on. You'd better have come here prepared, both you and your Pokemon. I see. You're a dickhead. So I guess how do we? I mean, what exactly do I start with? Manage. We can switch some stuff out. I guess I can get my obvious question that I ended a section of I ended one of the parts of my now I think the longest Pokemon video that isn't a stream with this question about the demo itself, but hopefully, I guess to say this, hopefully we do get the demo in some form or fashion. You know, it could even be like the Sun and Moon one. Well, not Sun and Moon. I don't think Sun and Moon was like that. Was the way I'm thinking about it, but build it like Sun and Moon. I remember Sun and Moon's having daily events, or not daily, but timed events you could do to get stuff. And yeah, they had events you had to be on at a specific calendar date to do. I think that'd be cool to do again, but I'm not expecting it. But I do think that they should have the demo out for. Let me check this real quick. Hold on. If I wanted to be safe, I'll send you out. I think that the public should get their hands on this demo, preferably before it comes out, to actually try the game. Because you know there are going to be people who can't make who can't make it to these events. I've already said I don't really even care if it's like a cloud demo or something. I just need the demo. And it'd be nice to try it out, get a little bit of practice in. Other than that, like, I don't know, have it be at kiosks like a week or so before in stores, so that if you really wanted to, you could go try it out. I think that'd be a fantastic idea. My pre-orders are already in for the game. So I just gotta wait it out. We are less than 2 months away from the game. But so a lot of I haven't seen a lot of footage for it. I've actually been watching a lot less reactions and other stuff since I've started actually putting out videos for stuff, because I just want what I'm saying to be mine, my own stuff, and then eventually that just became just not looking at stuff as much as I used to. But I did see Austin John plays his video on it, and Munching Orange, I believe. Yeah, it was Munching Orange. They both got to play it, and I thought that the gameplay was really nice to look at. Nice breath of fresh air. There were some things that we learned about it that we didn't know before, like abilities aren't in the game, but held items are. And I put it out as a safety net that they might not have held items, and it might just be like it might just be like how they did with Let's Go, actually. Now, I've just made this connection now, where they don't hold anything, but you can use it once you have it. But no, there's held items. I think the only ones have been Mega Stones and Berries so far, but, I mean, if the feature's already there, might as well. Okay, everyone's looking good. Edith is just struggling a little bit. You know what I probably should have started with? This stream probably won't be as long because I'm dead tired. I've been up all night. It's 40. What does this do? 50. Yeah, it's really just not worth it to be using anything else. All right. Yeah, this stream will be as long. I'm tired. Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, they have held items. Currently, our only knowledge is berries and key and megastones. But it could very well. Oh, it's Caleb. Okay. So yeah, the item thing, that's pretty nice. There are no abilities. Both Let's Go and Legends Arceus had like essentially a some modified form of EVs and IVs, so I'm expecting at minimum a version of those to be there. But yeah, it's a lot of the stuff is actually stuff that when you think about it is actually pretty mundane, but it's stuff that we really never thought about, even though you know this is a completely new step forward and probably was something we should be thinking about. Like I believe it was in Munching Orange's playthrough of the demo. The and then it got brought up in the most recent news from earlier this week. The environment can stop attacks, so not even just dodging or countering stuff, even like being able to duck behind a bench or something can help you out in a battle. And that, I think that opens up a lot of strategy, especially for like the part of that demo. So okay, let's back up. The demo itself, it was in two parts. It was exploring a battle zone for the first time when you're actually ready, because we'll get to it, but we found out what part that is in the game. It's really early, but not the first time you're in a battle zone. I'll put a pin in this right now and I'll read this because a lot of this is actually pretty important. The ultimate weapon's flower has finally bloomed above the soil. Don't you find its beauty captivating? As we speak, it draws its energy from the legendary Pokémon. Yvette, I apologize that the weapon was unearthed after you chose correctly in the lab. But conflicting egos drive this world. Things don't always go the way you want. Ultimate weapon, we won't let you use it. Even though resources, space, and energy on this planet are limited, the number of people in Pokemon has increased to an unsustainable level. Whether it's money or energy, the ones who steal are the ones who win in this world. Why am I doing this? So what? That doesn't give you the right to destroy everyone except the few that Team Flare chooses. So tell me, the Mega Ring, did you share it? That's different. We did compete to see who got it, but when there's only one of something, it can't be shared. When something can't be shared, it will be fought over. When something is fought over, some must survive without it. The only way to create a world where people live in beauty, a world without conflict or theft, is to reduce the number of living things. What about Pokemon? Bruh. Why are you crying? Pokemon shall no longer exist. This I haven't seen this in a while. This is actually more stupid than I remember it being. Pokemon are wonderful beings. Humans have worked with Pokemon, and we have helped each other flourish. But precisely because of that, they will inevitably become tools for war and theft. Enough of this. You want to stop the ultimate weapon, and I refuse to do so. So I'll keep you busy for just a moment. Alright, battle time. Yeah, no, this was, the fuck? Okay, so what was I saying? So the first part of the demo puts us in our second time, really, in a, battle zone. And, I think that, like, when you look at the battle zone, where, it's not the tightest corridor, but it's definitely narrow. And there are benches and trees and stuff. Those can block things, but that's an example of the terrain. Even if it's not like rolling hills and stuff, the terrain is going to play a massive role in how these battles work more than usual. And so I think that even though the terrain will most likely be mainly flat, that's a good way to offset it. Like, instead of being a layered explorative type environment, the way you interact with the environment is more how it helps or hinders you in battle. Because there are some very easy techniques like strafing that won't really work, or even running around in a circle won't really work if you try to take too wide a turn in that hallway that you're in. That also applies to getting caught by a trainer, because we know that they can see us, and if we get caught, we can potentially take the brunt of an attack that can be potentially devastating depending on the strength of our Pokemon. Now, we did learn from Austin John's playthrough of the demo that you can, if you're fast enough, you can roll out of the position you're in at the very start. I don't know if they're going to patch that before release. I doubt it, because I think that's actually pretty cool for the people who have played Legends Arceus before. Not just that there are Legends Arceus moves, but that you can use it in that way. But yeah, not the layout of the city is going to be extremely important for. It's going to be extremely important for the way that game is played. Let's see. Another thing, poison, and with that, it would lead me to believe that it would also be the other status effects do appear outside of battle for the first time. Well, they actually do something outside of battle for the first time since, I want to say, this generation. If not this generation, then Gen 5, where your Pokemon will actively take poison damage. The strength to protect, huh? But what are you really protecting? Tomorrow that will only end up being worse than today. Bro, I need you to shut the fuck up. But nah, so I think it's... Okay, hold on. You're just as strong as ever, but it's too late. There's no hope for you now. Go down to the lowest floor and see for yourself. It's not over till it's over. Eve, let's go look for the legendary Pokemon. Trainers are protected by Pokemon, but they protect Pokemon too, right? Look, that's the entrance to the lower floors over there. I am dying. So that's the room. You know what? I didn't do something real quick. Hang on. I need to... Hold on. There we go. I need to change the... I need to change the thumbnail. Let me see. Where content live. edit, change. Okay, and I believe thumbnail 16 is right here. There we go. I only was reminded to do this because I'm looking into the room that the thumbnail is based on. There we go. We have a different thumbnail now. Not the best picture, but what you gonna do? Yeah, so for the first time since Generation 5, I believe, the statuses do stuff outside of battle. Yep, let's hurry. The statuses do stuff outside of battle. Poison persisted until... What was it? Was it the Mareep or the Fletchling? And I forget which playthrough it was in. I think it was Munching Orange. It persisted until... It was at 1 HP and then it stopped. But it still has poison. So there's no doubt if it got into an actual battle, it probably would just croak right then and there. I wasn't going to say that until I saw Toxic Croak came out. Okay, so we're both weak to Dark type. So if he's not dumb as hell, he should go for Toxic Croak. So I should take a chance and send out my fighting type. So that leads me to believe that things like burn and paralysis and sleep will also persist outside of battle, probably. Now that does leave the interesting question of, will freeze be coming back, or like will freeze be in this game, or will it be frostbite again from Legends Arceus? I think frostbite's just the better of the two. Moves can actually induce it, and it's not completely busted the moment that it happens. And it also provides a nice, I say nice as a person who currently is not dealing with any of the effects of said status ailment in any game. A nice balance so that physical attackers aren't the only ones getting screwed over when something like that happens. Oh, level 60. Dragon Pulse. Do we have any dragon type moves? Maybe it's dragon super. I think it's only super effective against itself. So really there's no reason to have a dragon type move other than for dragons. And we have two different fairy type moves, one physical, one special. Folded. But yeah, I think frostbite should probably just be a thing. Just have it be like burn, take damage, and I see. Just use frostbite. It just makes more sense. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things like sleep and if freeze is in the game, freeze and like paralysis would work, because your Pokemon very clearly follow you around. Like the battle system quite literally hinges on that fact. So you're both gonna have to switch out probably. He's probably not going to though, so I'm going to send out the fighting type. But yeah, that's a thing I heard someone ask about. Doesn't exactly make sense. And it only makes a little less sense. It makes less sense every single time that we see it only makes less sense every single time we see the battle system and we learn more about it, because like I said, at this point our understanding is pretty clear. This system hinges on the following Pokemon mechanic. The way that you use the Pokemon in battle will be determined pretty heavily by both your own judgment, like timing and judgment, and by how fast your Pokemon can follow. So, you know what? That's a good thing. Let's see who you send out. You know what? It's not the worst choice for them. Oh, it's also an interesting choice. And then it can be taken out by the psychic. Yep. So following Pokemon is there. It has to be. That speed thing is interesting because they since we've seen in Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, they are trying to be more realistic with how they're walking and running and their general traversal speeds are. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these Pokemon work out with that in mind. Yes. What was I saying? Yeah, so that combined with like with the environment thing I mentioned before, will be really interesting to see, and I'm excited to get to try it. It's like I don't really know what I can say other than it's really exciting and it looks like it's going to be one of my favorites. Because, like, that's true. But I've already said it so many times. It's... Okay, we're in a... iffy spot, actually. So all the people that can use Fairy-type moves are weak to one of the two on the other side. Fuck it. I wouldn't hear guys' electric moves, I think, so we can surf out the dog and then we can bring out the plant and kill the hoodlum thing. Oh yeah, it's fake out. Oh, you know what? There was one other thing involving these vision mechanic along with the vision mechanic for the enemy Pokemon trainers. We haven't seen any of them, I think, moving so far, have we? I think we might have seen one moving a little bit. We might have seen one moving a little bit, but I don't know. We just haven't seen them doing it a whole lot. Oh, well, that was fantastic. We haven't seen them doing it a whole lot. I think it'd be a good idea for them to be moving a lot, especially for late game. Like, your stealth game has to be on point for you to be able to get those off-guard attacks. On top of just having more Pokemon on the team, you know, that type of stuff. Let's see. There wasn't really much else involving the battle system I wanted to talk about. I mean, they did talk about the controls. All the moves are on the face buttons. So instead of selecting a move through menu, you just hit like the X button and it does a move. The A button does something else. You actually switch Pokemon with a directional pad too. Like, they're making use of all the buttons on that controller for this game. not the one I'm playing. I mean, the Z-A. And they make use of all the buttons on that controller for a battle. Anyway, I'm not sure about the outer stuff. It probably is the same. It looks like it's the same a lot of the time because you have to use a move on them to backstrike them, the trainers in Pokemon for the Z-A Royale. So it's probably just going to be like that the entire time, barring like the inside of buildings maybe. Alright, so this is Shauna using an item she got from a gym leader. And here we go. So because these guys use a lot of dark types, I actually think I should switch you in, and then I should do some healing. But so they are using a lot of stuff. The trigger will most likely still be for throwing Pokeballs, most likely. We just haven't seen much of the trainer themselves. It's mainly just been battle stuff. There was no catching Pokemon part of the demo, so we don't know for certain. But it's safe to say that that's probably the way that is. What do I have? I have 2 full heals. Let me use this. I might be stupid, actually. Hold on. Okay. Okay. But yeah, that was about it for that. We did get to see some of our friends. We got to see Lita and Naveen, and in that demo's case, I think it was Urbane in there. We found out they are all taking place in the Z-A Royale because I don't think that was really clear from their introduction in July, a month ago. Yeah, other than all that, I think that might be it. Now the next one, the next part of the demo, yes, I do, Keywall. The next part of the demo was the Rogue Mega Evolution. This one was actually pretty nice. So, they said that you need to Mega Evolve because you won't do damage to a Pokemon. I did watch the videos. I don't think that that's literally true. I think they more meant like... At least I don't think so. I think they more meant like... You know, do actual damage that won't have you sitting there for fucking ever. You need to have a Mega Pokemon. I still think that there could be some form of option for Pokemon that aren't can't Mega Evolve. There might be. It's looking increasingly less likely that that's true, but we can't say that it's not there until it's there. But I think that also is a good thing. I think a good thing to do in that type of situation, though, my metric switch, is also not to expect something if you aren't directly told that it's there. So, like, it'd just be easier to not expect for them to have anything for a Pokemon that can't Mega Evolve. But that wasn't the point. Back to the Rogue Mega Evolution. So they revealed that the Mega Power Orbs will be dropped by attacking the Rogue Mega Pokemon, and that plus the multiplayer trailer, which we'll get to, revealed that you can stay Mega Evolved so long as you have energy in the tank and you have it all. So what I said in my, I think my very first video covering the gameplay for the game back on Pokemon Day of this year, almost 4 months, almost 6 months ago, basically it came to pass. You can most likely activate and reactivate Mega Evolution at will so long as you have enough energy. So I think that's a really cool idea. That also means having multiple Mega Pokemon on your team actually makes fucking sense now. Because if I remember correctly, in this game and basically every game with Mega Evolution in it, you can only use it once. You can only use it once, and the only time that Pokemon would de-Mega Evolve is if it got knocked out. And once you use the Mega Evolution on a Pokemon, that's just it for the gimmick. You can't use that on anyone else. So it is feasible to have a team like, say, what I'm doing, where you'll have your Z-A starter, you'll have your Kalos starter, and then we'll likely have like a couple more Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. You could Mega Evolve all of them you can Mega Evolve all of them within a battle, depending on your strategic uses or just your preference, which is a really cool idea. But yeah, it also seems like in battle, not just in the Rogue Mega Evolutions, but maybe in general, healing might be pretty limited. Not like a number of heals, but I think the time between heals is set to like 10 seconds. Though, that's a really good way to hard, like that's a really good way to hard limit when someone can heal or how many times they can heal through battle. Like during battle. Because I was hesitating because I was thinking maybe doing that, instead of doing that, you would make the battles more intense, but that basically just means make the whole game harder. So I think actually this might be the better option for the type of difficulty thing they're going for. So basically what that means is that, if you're in a really hard fight, you have to look for opportunities to heal. But even if they aren't that hard, you still need to be careful because you won't always have access to your satchel with your healing items in it. Which is actually, I think, a pretty clever way to do that. A lot of things they did have to make some adjustments because of the battle system, which I think is the biggest draw for the game, barring like what extra they could do with Lumios. I wasn't planning on escaping, I was planning on killing you. So that could be interesting, especially if there is a really difficult final boss fight like Legends Arceus had. That one's gonna be, if that happens, that's crazy. That's gonna be crazy. Other than that, we did get some more insight into how moves like Protect work. Moves like Protect are very much timing based in this game. They last for around a second, and some moves will last longer than that second. So I believe the example was when in the demo you're given a Mega Lucario just like you are in X and Y to test out Mega Evolution. When you do that, the Lucario has Protect, Aura Sphere, I think Brick Breaker, Rock Smash, and what was it? I can't I can't remember, but the point was is that the person I was watching failed to use protect at the right time and got absolutely annihilated. Well, not annihilated, but they got caught with the egregiously large dark pulse that the Mega Absol was using on them. Alternatively, they also tried to use a move and missed because of the area limit for the move itself. So all those things need to be taken into account. You need to know when to get in close and when to pull back and give yourself some room so that you can start playing a dodging game. I love action combat games. Most of my favorite RPGs are action RPGs. Pokemon is here strictly for the world and vibes. So this all seems fairly interesting. I'm going to see. Does I need to use the bag for anybody? Nope. We're gonna be fighting you. So actually, no. We're gonna want Lily up front because I don't think it can do much to her. I was thinking about saving. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. Ooh, cutscene. Hey. My cocoon. Ooh. So I don't know if it's just me, but I just noticed that the awakening animation for these two is kind of like the Mega animation. I don't know if I'm stretching or not. Anyway, why? It's a weird ass bird. Well. Hey. I think I could probably throw a ball at it, but I want to damage it first, just so that we're not here forever if it decides to do something. I don't need a lot of damage, I just need a normal amount. Like yellows or something. Oh, that is bad. Okay, so I'm gonna go in my bag and use an HP healing item. There we go. I don't want to use a super effective move on it. I'm gonna try one more hit and then I'll damn. And then I'll just throw the ball at it. Alright, yeah, this is as good as it's gonna get. It shouldn't be too much though. There we go. Ugh. It's out again. Oh, well, there goes Lily. Damn. I like the backgrounds for these two, though. Erica. Okay, I think I might be giving it to both a little too little credit. I'll try a poison jab. Okay, yeah, we should be good for this one here. We just heal this damn cat, and we should be good to go. I want everyone to get experience from this. Is that a dual type move? Because that has to be fire, or not fire. Not fucking fire. A flying dark. There's no way it's not dark type. Yeah, you do. What level is she? What level is she? Summer. 15. Fucking hell. Let's see. Other than that, there wasn't really much else. From the demo anyway. We did learn some stuff. It looks like there's about 8 Pokemon centers, and it's like the icon for those, I think, are just a Pokeball. Got it. Hold on, just give me a sec. When its life comes to an end, it absorbs the life energy of every living thing and turns into a cocoon once more. Greedy bastard. Yeah, no, Is there a nickname I can give it? If I think of one, I'll give it to it later, but right now, no. The box. Just give me a sec. I forgot that I had to add this. No. Yes. I think that looks good. Yeah, yes, it does. Alright, so all the Pokemon slots have been filled out. It has actually been so long since I had to do that. I've completely forgot that I had to do that. Alright. Captured it. Okay. This is still goofy. He's cooked. So we start out with Mienshao again. I will be towing out the cat first and foremost for the fox. Demo wise, let's see. There were those. We did get to see a few of the shape, at least, of the wild zones throughout the city. A few of them. A couple of them were new, I believe. We have no clue what Pokemon are there. No clue what Pokemon aren't. I am expecting like around 250, 300 decks. That seems about right for the game. There have been rumors about DLC for it, and I'm hoping those come to pass. I would love to see every Pokemon game getting post-launch support like that, because that also means that they get actual time to keep developing the new ones. Okay, Pyroar. Suave, you need it. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's in the decks. We know that they tell you what completion percentage of an area you have. So, you know, if you catch like Wild Area 1, he had 2 of the Pokemon on there, and it said like 8%, I think it said, or something, or like 10. But yeah, that's a nice feature to have. It's a Legends game, but it's the opposite of Legends Arceus, where our whole job was to catalog what was here. Our whole job in this game is something entirely different, but the Pokedex still helps us out, and it's still something we can work toward completing, but it's not the focus, so it makes sense that some of this stuff would be there. Oh, I completely forgot to mention the Zygarde thing. We had to follow Zygarde through the city for the first like 20 seconds of the, well, they had to follow Zygarde, a 10% Zygarde throughout the city of Lumios for about 20 seconds to get to where they were trying to go. I think that's interesting. Who knows how many times that'll happen. And AZ and Emma were involved, and we did get to see the missions. I don't remember what all of them were, but we know that the first mission is getting your bag back from a Pokemon that stole it. I think it was Pancham. And the second one... What was the second one? The second one was... the second one. I remember now, because it was the basis for the Battle Zone thing earlier. So when I said that the point of the demo they were at for the first session wasn't the first time that the player within the game, like within the continuity of the game, was within a wild or a battle zone. That's because the second mission was you find yourself accidentally in one without being prepared, and you need to leave. I'd like to see how fast. It's water flying. I believe it turns into a water dark type, so actually I can... All I need to do is hope that I don't get hit with a flying type move and we go Mega for Mega. And you can fold. Do something you want. Interesting. Mold Breaker. That is bad. Okay, we'll leave it. There we go. Fold his ass. So yeah, but so that was pretty interesting. I was saying I do wonder how fast that'll all be in game. And there you go. Because those missions sound like they would take a bit. And who knows how story driven this game is. It could be a lot, it could be a little. L. Lysandra. That L is capitalized in your name for a reason. So I'm really excited to see all that. Okay. blind ass. Really just tried to murder everyone who was here. Oh, cutscene time. He really did that. It's crazy. This is... Actually, where is that? This is like a crescent-shaped little lake in the middle. That does not look like anything Kalos has. Well... Nice. Oh. Interesting. Let's see. Well, of course, not when I started thinking about saying some shit. More exposition. So fucking tall. I think we deserve a Pokemon Center visit first and foremost. I want to say that we can keep going a lot longer, but I don't want to end it here. Let's, okay. See about ending it when we get to Snowball. We'll end it when we get to Snowball. Because I don't know. I think I can stay up much longer. But after the last after the demo, we got news. After the demo coverage, we got news, official news about a multiplayer mode, which was something that I didn't think Z-A was going to have, given the fact that Legends Arceus didn't have that either. And it looked really cool. It's like Battle Royales from Alola, but done a little bit more correct. Let's see, anything worth a damn to put on here? Nope. In fact, actually, I should just go looking at all of them. I should have, with that being said, I should have done this place last. Nothing there. This place is some. I like the way that they chose to do scoring, where it's points per knockout, but when someone has a Pokemon knocked out, they get reset back to their position. And basically makes it so that unless you decide to gang someone up at spawn, there's no way for someone to become a walking point dispenser. Nothing. I'm looking for stuff in purple and stuff that she would wear. I don't see her as the dainty type, so... It's not where I wanted to go. I'm not gonna walk this. I don't think I'm fancy enough to get into the one in Lumios. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna sprint our way down here. That's interesting. I like that. I also like the fact that items are involved here. Now, I don't know if there's... So, I think it was Munching Orange that brought up the interesting idea that instead of just being pure healing items, they would instead be things that raise stats. Which does make a lot more sense, but then there's also, like, you know, the green ones. Which I don't know what they would raise. Because the red and blue seem like they are pretty self-explanatory. Those would likely be, like, attack or defense. But, those would likely be, like, attack or defense. But the green one, speed, maybe, if not, just healing you for your HP. I honestly think I would prefer healings. And because the green one seems like the one that spawns in the middle and doesn't spawn all that often compared to the other ones, so I feel like it might be healing. Got this one already. Not in her color. No. And then the one in Santa Moon only sells hats, so I think we got what we would have normally. I never get on here and check, unless I'm streaming. I should probably do that at some point. But yeah, I do think it would make sense if that is how that works. The green one being the only one in the middle, like it's only one. It's in the middle and it spawns rarer than the other ones. I think it makes the most sense that that would be the healing one, as opposed to something like speed, because at that point, why would it be as rare as it is? But we also haven't seen much. I'm also running on barely any sleep and haven't looked at the trailer in a few days, so I don't know even know if I'm remembering that correctly. But I think I am. Yeah, pink and purple would mainly be her colors. Change to the glitzy top and not shorts. Maybe. Let me see. Let's see how this looks first. Glizzy top's fine. I like the Lipard scarf. Just not sure how I feel about this stuff. I mean, we can go with it. Yeah, we can go with it. Snowbell, right? So it's the next. Hello, Clips. Oh, not Snowbell. We have to go to, what the hell is that town's name? Whatever the town's name is, we have to go there. That's the next one. So this was closed off due to construction because some Durant destroyed the road. Hello. So you can find Durant and Heatmore here. Oop. Give me that. They did mention that there were switching limits. I believe they said that during the trailer. When someone switches out their Pokemon, they say you can only switch 2 more times, I think it said. So you could probably only switch 3 times. Potentially per spawn, but maybe just whole match. That one's up in the air. So I think that would be interesting. And also they only had 3 Pokemon each, but that seems like something that you'd probably be able to change in the rules. Especially during a private match, because there's a private and ranked. Ranked works pretty much exactly like the Z-A Royale. You gain points, you up your rank. Everyone's level 60 or above. And then private matches are private matches. That's just what that is. I think that's all cool. I'm excited to try that out. I feel like people are going to be toxic on it. Yeah, that's it for that one. And then I think all that's left is the most recent stuff. Now this is the stuff I didn't make a video on. Mega Victory Bell was announced at the time of the stream and recording yesterday, almost 25 hours ago, 26 almost. It was announced, and I really appreciate its design. It's apparently it got filled with acid and has to. Well, that's dangerous. Mega Evolution filled it with more acid, and it has to literally choke itself to not spit acid everywhere. Part of me feels like I should not go down this yet, but I'm not gonna listen to that part of me. Yeah, I think I really liked the Mega Evolution. I was a person who wasn't really into Victory Bell. Not Victory, right? Yeah, Victory Bell. I wasn't really into Victory Bell that much until I used it for... I think the first time I used it was my Kanto team for Let's Go, and then I used it again for my Kanto team in Fire Red. Really appreciate the Pokemon. I think it might be like one of the 2 poison, like grass poison Pokemon in Gen 1 that I actually feel like makes sense to have their typing. With the other one being Vileplume, I think they could have gotten away with having Bulbasaur not be a poison type. I think they could have. It doesn't exactly matter much now, because it's what it is, but... Okay, yeah, I see one. And there are no abilities, like I mentioned earlier in Legends Z-A, but I do like the part of the community that's kind of like brainstorming, okay, what ability would this have? I think they settled on Corrosion, which will let you hit steel types with poison type moves. That'd be a pretty decent ability for it to have. I think that'd be a pretty good ability for it to have, given that its lore also is stating that that did not do much. The Pokemon could just be tanky, to be fair. Okay. I think that that ability for it makes sense. Jeez. Crit. I think that ability for it makes sense. The way it moves is pretty dopey. That's definitely going to be a tanky but slow one, so you're going to have to more play defense than anything else. I think now that we've gotten pretty much all the Z-A news out the way, I think... Oh yeah, the eye shapes are there. You can change your satchel look. It's all pretty good. I think we'll see another trailer in September. When in September, I'm not sure. I want to say early September because that would make it so that the next trailer after that, assuming they don't do multiple in 1 month, is close to mid-October for the game's release. It is kind of weird we haven't seen the Kalos starters at all yet, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna go straight into this one. So I had something and I lost it. I was gonna say it seems real weird for the Kalos starters to not have been in the trailer yet. I don't know if they're like gonna be given to you as a gift, like the Kanto starters were in original X and Y, or what. But there's also probably more characters that we haven't seen that are along the lines of Corbo from the Rush Syndicate, who are really important, have something to do with something in the city, and we'll just run into them and they'll happen to be like part of the Z-A route. So this is going to be important later. This is Terminus Cave. I'm not going to wander around in here too much right now, but this is going to be important for our last stream in October. There are items and stuff around here. I think this is a Sky Trainer. No. Max Ether. I think I found what I was talking about. I think it'd be really interesting to see what type of, not even just gameplay styles, but also to see the mix of styles that can happen with each team. Like, I'm not really a defensive person, but if I have to play a defensive way to get a Pokemon I like on the team, then Pokemon that I want on the team, to be more specific, then that's how I'll play. So, I'd like to see the way that the team dynamics for everyone's teams change. I think it's pretty interesting to watch a team go from being all offense to switching into a Powdon with fucking stealth rocket spikes, and that's just about it, and seeing how they fare. Because I mentioned this already, but every Pokemon can be somewhat active with the way that the game is built. You know, you don't really even need an attacking move, you just need a setup move, and that's good enough. You know, you can time your uses of things like stealth rocks and spikes, and create walls for things that are attacking you, which is a really good strategy in itself. You don't know if there's going to be X items in the game. There should be, because I think they were in Legends Arceus as well. But you know, being able to use those in tandem with other stuff, held items in tandem with all those moves and everything. Like, I think this has a good, like, even if it doesn't completely hit the mark for this first game, because I don't think it's necessarily fair to expect that a game be perfect, especially when it's the first time they're doing certain things. You know, they need to experiment in order to figure out what does and does not work. But I think that even if they don't hit the mark with this game, just that in general, that Corway Town, that's what I was looking for. I don't know if we're gonna make it to Snowbell this time. Let me look at the map. I think even if they don't get it right the first time, it's so close. I don't need to do a lot of fruit routine, but I don't want to skip stuff because I don't want to risk being under leveled with too little money. Because that can still happen in these games. It's a lot harder to do, but it can happen. I think I'll stop it in this town. But, like, the possibilities for this type of playstyle are really endless, especially with the amount of options that the player could have. Uh, that the player could have with all the options that Pokemon just has in general. Like even across having the same Pokemon, their IVs could be different. The EVs will be different based on what trainers you fight and when. You know, the move sets can be different. Held items are in the game, so held items are going to be different. I think this is a nice place to just kind of sit. We're gonna save right here. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed all the news that we had recently. I'm excited to see what else they announced for this game. I believe there's going to be somewhere in the ballpark around 20-something megas, so only new megas, so only seeing 2 of them so far. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to keep my promise and go to Snowbell. Where's the professor? But I do think that that all those options can make for a fantastic game where you really don't know what's coming, and that it becomes more reactionary, which I like the system was already like that already, the battle system, but I feel like this is more induces this is more in line with that, let's say. What does Sycamore use? He uses the Kanto starters final Evos, and I think he megas the one that's so strong or weak against someone you picked. Or is it just always Charizard? Just to be safe, I'll put Vivi up front just so that we can deal with the Venusaur. And if we can't, if that's not what's up, then there's Sycamore. Yeah, so I just let that be, but this battle system shows promise. Okay, Venusaur it out first. And I've already said it, so I'm not going to keep talking about it. One small note from the Mega Victory Bell reveal. They can do some really convincing horror stuff, the Pokemon company, specifically the YouTube channel and whoever they have running it / whoever they're contracting to make stuff. They can do some pretty convincing horror stuff because this is now, I think, the 3rd game in a row they've been doing the found footage type thing. They've been doing the found footage type thing and it's worked every time. So I think, what the well, I should have saved. I don't know what just happened. Um, what was I saying? They can do some really interesting. Why is my 3DS doing that now? They can do some really interesting. Yeah, my 3DS is doing that weird flashing thing. Oh, thank God I saved here. Alright, well, if that's the case, then I know what Pokemon he's using, and since that's the case, let me just hard reset my 3DS real quick. Because that hasn't happened before, but it has been on for a while, so I should probably reset it. But yeah, they can do some really convincing horror stuff, and I'd like to see what they can do with that type of genre if they had the ability to actually do like a dedicated game or something. That'd be pretty cool. If not a dedicated game, then lean more into it for a Pokemon game, maybe one of these Legends games. Let's see. What region is the most in tune with ghost types? It'd probably be Johto, Hoenn, or Sinnoh. So we already got Sinnoh, so that's out. So like Johto or Hoenn would definitely be fantastic choices for a game like that. Um, still doing it. It's still doing it. Okay. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Nope. It's doing like this weird flash thing on around the edges of the screen. I think it's only the edges. It doesn't show up on the video, but it's happening. I don't know what I did to make it stop the first time. This thing. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. You just gotta make it to Snowbell. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see who and what we meet in Z-A. I also want to see where this Zygarde thing goes because it's going to be important to the story. Now don't crash this battle again. It's going to be important to the story. We really don't know much else about that. Other than that, like I'm really liking what I've seen so far in the game. The character customization looks really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. Especially since we got to see one new Bang style when we saw the Z-A Battle Club. Right, that was what it was called. Lumio City Battle Club or Z-A Battle Club. But yeah, since we got to see that, it switch. Send out Erica again. If it knocks the game out, then we probably shouldn't be doing this. I don't know what it is about her. Yeah, it's her. Or when he sends out this damn Blastoise. if this keeps going, I might have to stop here. But we've saved pretty much before this. We can speed run the next part of the game. Yeah. But, we haven't seen much. And it's still doing that flashing thing. Hard reset. But yeah, so that's really all I can say. All I can really hope is that, the combat's fun. It seems like it is. All I can really hope is that we get good options. You seem like we have them. All I can say is that we have a good Pokemon variety. That's the only thing that I'm really on the fence for right now. I'll try one more time. If that Blastoise crashes the game, I'm ending the stream. Is it the Blastoise or is it a combination of Erica with the Blastoise? There's nothing wrong with Erica. I used her a good amount during this session, actually. Encoding overloaded. That's great. That's so great. I don't even understand how, bro. Okay, get this over with, please. Thank you. Alright, let's see if it happens again. If it happens again, I'm gonna use Egypt this time. But if this is the end of the stream, I'm just gonna go to the thanks for watching screen after. I'll just say like an outro and dip. Did she level up the last time? We're gonna switch Edith out, see if this does any better. If not, then it's the Blastoise, and I gotta figure something the fuck out. It's the Blastoise. Alright. What the fuck does this mean? Well, I'm gonna move on now. That's it for the stream. We will pick this up right here where we left off next time, which is September, and then we will in fact be finishing the main game, that session. We're not too far away. There's like this, and then like a route until we get to Snowbell, which is what I wanted to end. Where I wanted to end the stream today. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the end screen now.